Hello friends, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well and welcome to my channel. I am glad you're here. I'm here to work on the no-sew journals, and so I'm on the next step, and I have not done anything since my last video so that I could do everything on camera. Yesterday was Saturday. Today is Sunday. Sorry, it's morning. Got my coffee and my mug of the day, my coffee mug of the day. So here's where we are. If you remember, we're putting this fabric on. So let's just get started and not waste any of our valuable time here, because you know I only have, I think my camera or my phone gives me about 32 minutes. So let's just get gluing here. So one of my subbies said she wanted to see how I did the corners exactly. So as you can see, I took some of the book out already. And I always say when I do these corners that I play them by ear as I go. So like I took some of the book out, but I'm going to take more of the book out probably on the corners. But I want to start gluing first down these edges. So I'll show you what I'm talking about when I say I play it by ear. I just, one thing I do is make sure I don't take it so close to the corner that when I fold these down, you see the corner. You know, that can happen if you put it too close to the corner, if you cut too close to the corner, so that's why I cut way out here. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue on the fabric so that I don't put too much glue over here, you know, too far out or whatever. I want it just in the right place. And I want to get it glued down really good. This part does have some of the extra from where it was in a upholstery sample book. This extra paper over here, which is not that thick, but it does make that side a little extra thick. So I just want to get it glued down, and I can add more if it sticks up, you know, starts popping up or something, but this should be good. And this is we're going to have a layer going over this too, so if a little glue oozes out, it wouldn't be horrible or anything because it'll be covered up. So you can see it's already popping up there. So I'm going to hold it down here for a second and see if that does the trick. Do I just need to hold it down until it starts grabbing and drying? This part here where it's one layer is sticking down just fine. Kind of push it into my grooves here around my spine, and it's nice and tight on my edge. So yeah, that's great here, but I knew this would pop up, and it did. So I'm holding that. Look, got a little glue oozing out here, and that'll help too when I glue over it, but I don't want to have a problem where I glue over it and then it starts popping up. So I just want to make sure this part with the two layers here is down really well. And I think it is grabbing, and I think it's good now. We'll watch it. Okay, so now I'm going to let me go ahead and do the bottom first too, and then I'll fold that side over, and I can work on both those corners at one time. So more glue down here. I did go to Walmart and get some more Fabri-Tac yesterday, so I'm prepared to, if I run out. This one has quite a bit. It's just that, you know, I thought I might be using a lot this weekend, so I wanted to be prepared. And then while I'm working on this journal too, you know, just not necessarily just this weekend. But, sorry, I don't want to start this video over or anything because I'm clearing my throat. Because I already did that part, and I'd have to, you know, I'm trying to do everything on video. Okay, so here we go. Do we have enough glue on? Let me put a little bit of glue, more glue right here on this section that has the two layers. I think that's good. Okay, I got a lot of glue there. Okay, doing the same thing I did on the top. Get it nice and tight. Hold this side down. And that's staying down there. Got my timer on. So at Walmart, I was going to say, I said I thought my Walmart only had 2 sizes. In I think my last video I said that. But it still has the 3 sizes. It has a small, medium, and large. And I was thinking, because I like the medium. This is the medium size. And I like the medium because, you know, it's not too small. It lasts a while. But it's not too big that you never get to the end. You know what I mean? Because at the end, it's like the glue, I don't know what happens to it. But sometimes it seems like it gets thicker and it's harder to get out. So the medium is like a good, happy middle ground, I guess, of course. But I wanted, my thought was I was going to get 2 mediums, but then, you know, I just figured that the large was actually the best deal, so I went ahead and get the large one. So I think I'm good to go on the glue for this journal, for these journals. Okay, so everything's sticking down. You see both sides where it had the 2 layers are sticking down. So now I'm going to do this. So you can see now that I have the 2 top folded down and the bottom folded down. Now I have 2 layers right here. It's only a little bit, but still there's 2 layers there. So then I cut it again, cut some more of that bulk out because I have the 2 layers. And you can actually even just cut that off if you want. See if we can do that. See if these scissors are sharp enough to cut this little piece on the end here. See, they're not. Oh, well, I cut that piece. Okay. And that's also why I say play it by ear. Let's see. I kind of like decide what I want to do when I'm doing this part, the corners. Okay, so I can cut that little piece off. And got a little bit of fraying here. Let me cut that off. Okay, now I'm going to cut it off down here, if I can. Just that extra bulk makes it harder to glue the corners down. Okay, there's another little piece. Okay, that. Now let's see how it will be. I got my design team, you know, the little pieces from the digital kit there. Okay, so now let's see how it's going to be. See, it's going to be like this, and it looks good like that. I could cut another piece off here if I was worried about it, but I'm not worried, especially since we cut that extra off all the way up to there. I think we're good to go. So, and this side, if you remember, we put it out to the edge, so this side we don't have to do anything to. So let's go ahead and glue this down. I think it's going to work out well. Plenty of glue on my edge here. And I'm just putting, you know, I put a bead down right by the hardback book cover. I put a piece down here by the edge. I want to put some more by the edge because I don't know if it even went. I don't know if my glue made a solid line there. So I want a solid line of glue there. And then I got one in the middle. I'm just going to go back and forth a little bit. Make sure I have glue all over this piece, so it also stays down. You know what I mean? Okay. Solid line there. And then extra right here where we have this piece meeting that piece. Okay, I think we are good there. I think it's going to look nice. If there's any extra sticking up that I don't like, I can always cut it off. So let's just fold that over. So yes, I thought there would be, there's a little piece sticking up right there, but I could just cut that right off and it'll be fine. Same on the bottom. If there's anything sticking out, I can cut it off or glue it down or whatever I need to do. See how nice that looks? Very nice and flat. There's a little piece. I'm going to do it on this side so I don't cut too much off. I'm just going to cut off a little piece I can see right here and a little piece I can see right here. It does have glue on it, so I'm going to get glue on my scissors, but it'll be all right. I can wash them off. Clean them off. Clean them off. Okay. All right, there we go. It looks nice from this side, and let's see, it goes like, how does it go? Here's the front, here's the back, here's the back. There's those 2 dots. Oh, that's funny. They came out right there, of course. So I'm going to have to do something. Put some trim there or something because you can see through those. That's what happens when you use samples, but it's all right. I love these samples, so it'll be all right. I'm up for a challenge. So there we go. That's how it turned out. They're sticking down good. You know, you can kind of just burnish them down with whatever, scissors, whatever you want to use. Get that nice and tight there. Get your glue all up into your fabric and down onto what you're gluing on. Okay, looks good, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna do, I think I'll do the other one. It's here that we worked on, and this is the one I didn't bend, and then I laid it flat to see how it would do, and it did just fine. I bent it yesterday. Even though I didn't have time to work on these yesterday, as you can see, it bent just fine. And so that looks good. So I'll do this one off camera, so we won't have to work on the second one on camera, and I'll show you how that turned out. So now we are ready for our piece here, and I think what I'm going to do is just glue it down, and then whatever's sticking out, I'll cut off. I don't want to cut off ahead of time and then it end up being too short. But you see how I have some sticking out there? I can cut that off after, and then I'll have a nice straight line there. So let's go ahead and just glue this down. This is our interior fabric. And I got little pieces of thread here. Okay, so let's see. Sometimes I use art glitter glue on the fabric too, depending. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to use art glitter glue in here and use Fabri-Tac around the edges. So, but you got to do it pretty quick because it's a big area, and this glue does dry. If you've never used it before, it does dry really quick. In fact, I think the art glitter glue, because you put down such a thin layer or thin beads, it actually glues a little faster than Fabri-Tac. So I'm going to put the Fabri-Tac down first around the edges here. I'm going to try to go a little quick to get this whole process done without, because if you don't do it quick, you'll have to put more down. You know what I mean? I've done that before, where I've like taken a little bit too long, and then I just have to keep putting more and more on because my glue keeps drying. It will keep drying. So I'm gonna get it on the edge, on the very edge, all over this upholstery part. Okay. Especially on the edge, outside edge is what I'm talking about when I say edge. Outside edge. Okay. Now my art glitter glue, which I have not used in a couple days, so hopefully it comes out quickly so I don't have my Fabri-Tac drying. Yes, it's coming out good. Or so far it's coming out good. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah. It's being its normal self, not cooperating, coming out of my little top here. And I need to get a new pin. I have some over here that aren't stainless steel. Let me poke one of those in here just to get it going. I have my stainless steel ones in the other room, so I'll have to get me a new one because that other one is damaged. Okay, that should be good. That's a non-stainless steel one. Those are the ones I use for sewing, not my art glitter glue. Okay, still kind of not coming out great, but oh, it's starting now. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna get it on the spine real good here. All over this middle part. Try to go a little faster. Right next to my upholstery. Okay. I know you probably can't even see the lines hardly except for right there because it's white on the camera, but I do have a lot on here. I already put Fabri-Tac over there. I just want to get plenty on here. I don't want it to come through my fabric or see all these little beads and squiggles under my fabric. So I can get this on enough on here. I'm going to just take my finger, kind of smooth it out. See, I can feel it. It's already drying. It doesn't even want to smooth out here. Okay, now let's get this down before it is completely dry. Those thin beads just glue really quick. I'm going to get it even up and down, top and bottom, side to side, and then just smooth it down. Try not to get glue all over the place with the glue on my hands here, or my finger. It's just you have to do it so fast you don't really even have time to, wipe your hands off. Let's use my little scissors here and smooth things down. Other side. Get it all over really quick and then just go back. I went over it all really quick with the scissors so it's all glued down. See? And then I can go over it again and just go all over a little more. Let's keep everything. There's no wrinkles or anything. I just want to get it, You do have your bulk there on the edges from your upholstery, so you're going to have, like that line is from the upholstery. That's not a wrinkle. You've got your tape in the middle, so you've got all that little bulk there. I'm trying to get some of this glue off my fingers. Okay, I think I got it. Most of it, or some of it. Okay, so I'm going to go around my edges real good here. Make sure that is down. And you can always go up and squirt more glue under your edges if anything's coming up under the edge, or if you feel like it's not down good enough. Okay, I think it looks good. There's not really any line. You can't see any lines or squiggles under the fabric, and that's what I was going for. This line here is from the tape, and that's where our pages are going to be sewn through too, so you won't see any of that, you won't see that line there because our pages are going to be there. See, like this. So you won't see that. It'll look beautiful. Okay, so here's my extra that I need to deal with. So I'm just going to cut that off now. See, now I can cut a nice straight line right here. Hopefully I can cut a nice straight line right here. And like I said, for these journals I was going for a little bit more of a handmade kind of almost rustic look, Not necessarily grungy, but a little bit more rustic as far as the handmade look. Okay. That side, I see I have a little bit sticking down here on the, what is that, the top? No, that's the bottom. So right here, a little bit of a string there. Go ahead and cut that off. A little bit right here. And then we can check our edges again too and make sure they are all nice and glued down. I don't want to cut off my pinked edge there, so I'm going to go just under that. and cut off this edge. Okay, looks nice from this side. Let's look at it from this side. Looks nice from this side. Okay, now let's check our edges. Yeah, I'm going to put a little bit of, I think I'm going to put a little bit of art glitter glue on the edges. I just don't want my, I don't want to use the Fabri-Tac at this point because I don't want it oozing out or anything when the art glitter glue, when the Fabri-Tac oozes out, it's more shinier glue if you see it, so then it doesn't look so great, to see that shiny glue. So I'm just going to make sure my edges are down here with some art glitter glue and go along. I see that I need that. So this kind of thing, you just kind of, do what you need to do. There's no set, like, there's a way to do it, but there's no, like, perfect way to do it, You just kind of got to go with it and use your kind of common sense. Oh, this is sticking up. I need to glue this down, type of thing. That type of thing. Okay, so this is all down good on the top. I'm going to check this side. Maybe a little bit right on the edge here. Like, you don't have to do this. You don't even have to do this. If you want a more rustic, even a more rustic look than I am going for, you could leave this loose. It's on there. It's not coming off, Maybe you want this loose. Not too loose, but a little loose. On the edges, you want maybe a loose, that would lend for a more rustic look, possibly. So depending on your fabric too, or maybe you're using paper and then, maybe you didn't have this problem with paper. Okay, kind of folding it down. If it's sticking out a little bit, fold it down because it's not sticking out over the edge now. We cut that off. So just kind of like, I'm just pushing it down on the edge. See a little piece of, need a little bit more glue right there. So you see, I'm just folding it down now. And I think that'll give me a nice smooth edge too. I'm sure you can see my perfectionist tendencies coming out here, but like I said, I just play it by ear and do what I think I want to do, Same thing over here. Even though we have that pinked edge, I can still kind of push it down over the edge or push those together or whatever I feel like I need to do there. So I think it is all good. Yes, I think it's all down. Okay. So there we go. We are done with that. So I'm not sure how much time we have left, but let me see. I have my other timer on. So yes, we have all the pages together. We did that together the other day. So we can go ahead and start to get this ready for, I cut out all those little, remember those little street tabs I showed you? I cut those out. This is one of the lanterns. Isn't it cute? I cut out one lantern for each, the street lights. I cut one of those out for each journal for somewhere in, one of the pages or something. And these are all the little street tabs or labels. I cut all those out yesterday. That was fun. I like fussy cutting a little bit, or cutting. I just like to see the end result of the cutout image. I think it's fun. Okay, so next we should make sure we have our, I see I cut, this is not right here. But I see, we need to make sure we have the pages in the order that we want to sew them in. So I'm just going to look real quick and say, yes, I like this for the first page. And I think it looks, let's see how it looks with our fabric now. That looks really pretty. See that? And I think one of these had, was it 16 and one had 17 or 18. I think the other one had 18 and we took one out because it was in the middle. It was just a coffee dye page in the middle. So let's just look what we have real quick and see if we want to move anything around or make sure they're upright, you know, if there is an up or a down, and make sure it's upright the way you want it when you sew it in. So let's see. This has a little bit of a white line here that I could make go away with Distress ink, but I don't have my Distress ink right here. It's over. I shouldn't. Oh, it is. I think it is somewhere on my table right here. So, well, we can try. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I don't see it. Yeah, I think I might. I think I put all that stuff away. So let me just cut. See this white line right here? I want to just cut that off real quick. That's what I was talking about when I printed, and I had to cut off the white on the outside. And is this white or pink? I think this is my pink resume paper. You know, I've bought all my resume paper that I've ever bought. I've never bought it at a store, but I haven't found any lately. And I have quite a bit still. Like I can make it through probably 2 or 3 more design team projects and not have to buy any. But I always keep my eye out for it at thrift stores, but I'm like always worried I'm going to run out of it. So I was looking at the price at Walmart yesterday, and that stuff is not exactly as cheap as I thought it was. You know what I mean? I thought it was cheaper, and I was like, oh my goodness, this stuff is, wow, I am getting a bargain at the thrift store. You know, I was surprised at how much it was. I was like, oh gosh, I hope I find some more soon, because yeah, it wasn't as cheap as I thought. I had looked at it before, but I thought, I don't know, maybe the price went up because it was just more than I thought. So I think these are in good order, except that this one right here, see, I have the pink side up. I want this one to be like this and make sure it's upright. But if this one's the middle, I want it to be upright, and I think it would be pretty middle. I just want to make sure that that is the one I want in the middle. So let me check real quick to see. That would be, oops, I'm making a shadow. My glue's making a shadow. Everything is making shadows this morning. That would be a pretty middle too. I love all of them, but you know what I mean? I just want I want the one, I think I'm going to put this one in the middle. I like that one so far. I'm going to change that around. And let's see, so that one, that yellow looks pretty with, this is Jovi's coffee dyed paper, and it looks really beautiful with that tone there. So I'm glad I changed that. Now, is there anything else that I would want for the middle? This is a really pretty middle here. So, yeah, I think that's good there. And this is our outside. Okay, and that does go good with the pinks. We've got a lot of pink in this one. Pinkish flowers and this little stripe and the little sewing marks here. I don't know if you can see that. I've got my 2 lights on this morning because it's still a little dark outside. And so, yeah, there's little stitch marks on here. Let me just hold it still so you can see. I know sometimes I show things really quick and I don't hold it still long enough so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's make sure we're good with how they are. They're all upright. Are we good with this here? Do we need to trim anything? So let's check it in here. And everything is, see it, it looks good. It's fine the way it is. Nothing sticks out. It looks good. And it's not, this book cover is not too far out. So, you know, it looks really, actually really cool right now. So how we're going to bind it? How are we going to bind it? So my thought, I watched another video actually, and it gave me another idea on binding that I hadn't really done before. But I want to go ahead and do this one. But between the original idea I had for binding this one and the video I watched yesterday, I'm kind of like, well, I kind of almost wanted to change my mind, but I don't think I can at this point. So there's 2 ways you can make your holes. Heather made her holes with a hole punch, but you could do it with an awl. I have my awl here somewhere, right over Do I have it right here? I tried to pull all my pieces together here for binding. Let me see if I have my all here. I have my crocodile, so you can use a hole punch or a crocodile. And what I'm going to try to bind with is, and this is what Heather did. She used, what did she use? She used, I think, sari silk. I thought it would be fun to use a piece of the fabric that I'm using on the inside. So I tore a piece here. Let's just experiment for a second, and I'll show you what it might look like. Now you can punch your holes in through everything and then bind like this. Not like this, but I'm just experimenting here to see what it would look like. Say, so pretend like this is our binding, and it would be in the middle here like this, and then it would go on the outside. I want to see if I have it long enough, or you can tie two pieces together if you need to. So let's just see. I tore the pieces, and then I wanted to see if they were going to be long enough. So we are experimenting together here. So see, it would be long enough, and you can do it where this, see where this ties? You can tie it on the outside or the inside, you know what I mean? And it would be like that. So you could actually you could do it like this. If you wanted it so that you could take your pages in and out, you know, you could actually do it like this. Or you can punch holes in if you want it permanently. So what should we do? So let me experiment. Let me pretend like we are binding it like this. And I want my tie on the outside because I just want to, Heather made hers on the, I think she made hers on the inside, but she punched holes on the video. So there's my bell. Did you hear that? Wow. So I'm going to experiment with this for a little bit and see. Maybe I can tie a bow before my video cuts me off. If my video cuts me off, I'm sorry. And I'll say goodbye. Happy crafting before it does. But this looks kind of cool. I just have to, I'm kind of rushing here now that my bell went off. But I want to see how tight my pages are. Like, are they going to be tight enough if I just tie a bow? And I want my bow nice. Of course, you know, well, I'm not going to make it nice right now. How about that? Because I don't have time to make it nice. But say it was like this. That looks pretty darn cute. Of course, I would tie it nicer. But pretty darn cute. And then you have, let's see, they're tight. They're pretty, well, they wobble, of course. I mean, they're not sewn in. And then you can, if you want to do it this way, you'd be able to take your pages in and out. And you could be able to use this whole bunch of pages. And if you ever wanted to take them out, well, actually, I don't know if you could take them. You could take them out, but they'd probably be a little bit hard to get out because, well, no, you would just untie it. Hello. Yeah, you could just untie it.